Time now to talk business thanks to our partners Forsyth Barr. Oil and gas prices have stabilised overnight as markets get to grips with a surprise guarantee from Donald Trump to protect and ensure the Arabian Gulf shipping. Garth Bray, host of Herald Now Business, is with me at the desk. Garth, good morning.
Good morning.
So can you take a Truth Social post from Trump to the bank?
Or to the courts if you're trying to settle an insurance claim? Probably not, and that's why the markets are sort of scrambling on this one in the background. But in the foreground, I mean, if we look at the, I think there's a chart there that shows the oil prices have sort of stabilised a wee bit there, the Brent crude there, which is sort of hanging around about 81 something. 81.60 I think last time I looked, and that's sort of since this kind of thing took off. I mean, that was as, you know, there were some prices spiking at the pumps in the US, and the farmers and so on were paying, I think, a 23% increase in diesel fuel prices, so that was starting to feed through. And your gas prices as well have come back. We've got a wee chart on that showing that the European benchmark there, again, has drifted back, although it had really spiked up in the past sort of few days on news that, that those ports were really going to be constrained. But yeah, you're right. So this Truth Social post basically saying that Donald Trump ordered the United States Development Finance Corporation to provide at a very reasonable price political risk insurance and guarantees of financial security of all maritime trade, especially energy. The traders are going, well, what does this mean? If it's a Chinese cargo in a European vessel, are you going to back that? This is not usually what the DFC is used for. The background to this, though, is that I think at about midday today, our time, a lot of guarantees on shipping are coming off because about half of the insurers, these are risk pools, you know, your Lloyds and those kinds of people that guarantee maritime shipping, those guarantees were ending. If you are a ship and you don't have insurance, you're dead in the water. No one's going to take you into port. You're not going to push ahead. You can't do anything. You are dead in the water. And we had a real risk, I think one quite detailed analysis I was looking over last night saying this was going to be like the GFC, basically, where you couldn't get a price on things. Not that it would be too expensive, the whole market would collapse and you'd start to see oil futures go
so
through the roof.
In steps Trump to go, oh, we don't want that happening because I've got midterms and I'm worried about affordability.
And the market's trading on this at the moment, but let's actually see the detail that comes out of it, right?
All right, very good. Let's move to Nicola Willis. Well, and actually Anna Bremen from the Reserve Bank on the cash thing that they came out with us last week, said we need more cash machines, we need more bank branches.
And while we're talking about people being blindsided, this is obviously, we had Kiwi Banks, Steve Yurkovich saying, hey, we weren't expecting this one. I think you had Nicola Willis admitting it wasn't too tidy. We've had Anna Bremen, the new Reserve Bank Governor, admitting this week. This is some work that Andy McDonald, the senior finance correspondent at BD, has been chasing. And admitting, yes, we got that one wrong. We didn't give us sufficient notice, and some questions coming because Anna Bremen talked about this the day before the release, just very briefly at a lunch with senior bank executives. But didn't communicate it fully. Either she didn't understand it was important enough to explain, or maybe she wasn't across the full detail herself before it rolled out, which is all, you know, early stages. I think Nicola Willis saying, look, it shows she's committed to transparency, that she's sort of climbed down off that. But yeah, she's, I guess it's a touchy one, and more importantly, I guess Willis saying that she expects that the banks will be heard on this, which is quite a turnaround from this government that said it was going to sort of smash them effectively last year, or certainly give them a hard time.
Hey, very quickly, we're actually heading to Susan Botting next, who's our Northland reporter. To get there, you've got to go on that beautiful new expressway. But the second bit, Warkworth-Te Hana, is
going to cost $2.1 billion, I think, and the government's going to have to chip in a 10-year loan to NZTA. This is Thomas Manch, Business Desk infrastructure reporter, because basically our markets aren't deep enough for three big consortiums to each independently go out and get backers for what would equivalently be sort of $6 or $7 billion worth of private debt to say we can go and do this. So the government's effectively got to step in and get this thing going, even though it's meant to be a public-private partnership where the private firms take on the risk and put it on their balance sheet. Just a bit of a sign that maybe our pool is not that deep.
Well, that's not very good. We want to go all the way to Whangarei soon, don't we?
Well, that's 100 Ks and that's something like about 15 billion, so that'll be a real deep pool.
Right, thanks Garth. Herald Now Business host Garth Bray. We talk business every day thanks to our partners Forsyth Barr.